Because off camera here, you were comparing marijuana or other drugs with cigarettes, right? And you're saying cigarettes are 10 times more addictive, and you tried a lot of other substances too, right?
Yeah.
I guess the question for me is, how would you compare smoking cigarettes with some of these harder drugs? Well, with the exception of maybe weed, I would consider weed as kind of a soft one.
Yeah, you can say even shroom is kind of soft
Yeah.
one as well.
Yeah.
Anything that is natural is
Yeah.
kind of soft. How would I compare that?
I mean, tobacco is also natural, I guess. But then again,
True.
you
Well,
know,
I mean, okay, for at least in my case, cigarettes, I don't see it as a drug. I don't like.
you don't see cigarettes as a drug.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
No,
Interesting.
like in a
but-
way that if I do drugs, I consciously tell myself that, oh, I'm gonna smoke a joint tonight, or I'm taking a tap right now, or I'm gonna pop.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
pill.
yeah. You don't make it an event, or you don't
No,
make it
it's
as
so
a thing.
addictive for him already. It's so ingrained part of
yeah.
his daily routine.
Yeah,
He doesn't
that's
think
actually
it's
very
rough.
true.
Friends.
I have not seen Friends.
I've seen Friends.
Sorry,
a few.
I'm
Not-
just
not
gonna
like a
draw
lot.
a saying from there. Like if you have seen that show, not Joey, Chandler's very addicted
Chandler, yes.
to smoking cigarettes, and what he said is like, just imagine you're not holding a cigarette. Is that is the part of you like when you're not holding a cigarette, something is missing.
Yeah.
That is how I felt on a day-to-day basis when
Wow.
I usually smokes. It's not like it's not like
But it's not the same when you're like popping Molly. It's like, just imagine you're not popping Molly.
Yeah.
It's like, no, not really.
it's like
right,
a
you know?
very it's became an unconscious thing. Whereas
Yeah.
with drugs, I still have to dedicate a portion of my time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or I am doing drugs.
Yeah.
It's very different. It's a very habitual thing.
You know what? Maybe we should just like coin the term I'm doing cigarettes as well. Because I feel like that's a lot more devastating, that effect of that addiction.
I would say
Hearing
it's
that.
devastating because of addictive.
Yeah.
And you do it so repetitively.
Yeah.
Consuming MDMA, I don't think you could do that repetitively. I don't think you could consume 20 pills a day, at least from
gonna
what I
OD.
know.
You
You're
will
going to
literally
OD and
OD.
die.
Yeah.
And the reason why cigarettes is bad for you is not because the one cigarette, to be honest, I don't think it's terrible for you. But
Well, yeah,
but,
sure.
But I mean, if that becomes a habit, then it becomes a lot more problematic, right?
Yeah.
I think the difference is right. Cigarette makes you more quote unquote functional, whereas with
Interesting.
most drugs that I've tried, it kind of put me in an alternative mind state that doesn't help my productivity.
Okay, what about, Ritalin and what are the other drugs
Adderall?
called? Adderall.
Adderall.
Yeah.
Modafinil.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't see.
Have you ever done those?
That's why I say it's a recreational thing. I
Yeah.
do have
Experience.
I do have ADD, and
Okay,
I
yeah.
am prescribed it right now. I
For-
wasn't before.
Which one is it, Ritalin or
I
Adderall?
am on Vyvanse right
Right.
now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that is, but
Vyvanse is like newer strand of the Adderall family. Basically, still in pill. I think your reaction. I assume you know something about it, but
Yeah.
I'll share. From my experience, I've tried. I think I've tried Ritalin. I've tried. I think I've tried Ritalin. I just wasn't sure whether that was
If it was-
prescribed to me by someone else.
Yeah.
Well, at least from my experience, Ritalin is ADD drug. It helps me more focus. But then with Vyvanse, it also have to kick to it. It also
Right.
makes me a bit more happy. Like
it actually makes you feel happier.
my mood is lighter. But now, okay, Mr.
It makes you want to learn things, man. Because I use it to study for
Really?
for once, and I think the feeling, how I would describe it, it's like constant flow of caffeine into your body, but at the same time you're enjoying what you're reading a lot, despite the fact that you're reading some very dry facts.
Wow.
You could be reading Shakespeare's and you'd love.
Well,
not trying to offend
Now
any
just
literature.
you just offended like all of the entire English
You could-
community. The English
You could be
literature
reading.
community.
You could be reading what's something really dry. Some stupid historical facts that,
Sure.
in the First World War or something like
Yeah,
that.
sure.
But I find that very, very interesting. when I was on
Interesting.
it.
I mean, so listening to that, it feels like that having these recreational drugs, right? Taking them, it seems more of a lifestyle choice and enjoyment instead of like part of your life, like a cigarette is, right? So,
Well,
right, I want to listen to more about that, right? You just
I
enjoy it
just see it as like a escapism.
much. Right.
It's not like I know like a lot of people prefer, smoking with my friends, or we're hanging out, so we're smoking while watching some dumb video.
Yeah, it's like hanging out. It's like adding something more fun to it.
Yeah, it's more like it's like drinking at a party,
Yeah,
right? You're trying
exactly.
to up your experience. But
Yeah.
whereas in my case, well, I'm pretty introverted, as you two may know. It's like I don't even like smoking with people all that much. It's like I had like
Interesting.
two high school buddy of mine that would stop by from time to time that I would smoke with, but then I spent most of my days smoking on my own, and it's more of like I'm craving that escapism. It's more of a sedated experience. Well, now that I'm clean and I'm sober,
Relatively
then
clean,
I would
relatively
know
sober.
that, well, actually, I was trying to, maybe I was showing signs of depression, or there's some
Right.
stuff that I'm trying to really repress, and that's why I'm craving for that. I'm trying to get put down before I go to bed. And I did that till late 2019, I think. Like from like 2017 till like 2019, I basically smoked, especially for my final years. I'm pretty sure every day I go back home, I'll just light up and go
And
to
just
bed.
get stoned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wake and bake.
No, bake,
Bacon and,
sleep, yeah.
and then sleep. Yeah. Insane.
And
Wow.
s-
But like having that kind of routine of smoking weed, right? And breaking from it, because you said you're now, cleaner.
yeah.
Compared to cigarettes, it's completely different. It sounds like you have like no withdrawal from weed. I don't know if you had any.
I would say it's a lot more easy.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is that I was so reliant on it to put me to bed.
Right.
It wasn't too easy to sleep. But then I had the help of melatonin, and just bought a bottle of melatonin from Amazon, and just take a tab and take a
Take a tab.
take a pill.
Yeah.
You should
Yeah.
tablet or pill of that before I go to bed. Then basically fixed, and like. Yeah, I don't have any physical syndrome, which I think we can get into this later, which is whether weed is actually addictive.
Sure.
I think
Yeah.
this has been a very debatable topic for a long time. But in my case, I didn't feel anything.
Have you done some research on that?
I think
Whether or not weed is
I think
addictive?
I did some research on Google, and there are a lot of like both sides, like someone never feel anything, but then there are a lot of like medical research and said, it's actually not just psychological, it's also physical. But at least from my case, and
You didn't
as
have any physical
often that I
dependencies,
smoke, I don't
at
really
least.
have the dependency.
right.
Because I think speaking of
Before-
Amsterdam, right? I know you